Bayley is once again at it again, talking about Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Mercedes Moné. You know them as the four horsewomen of WWE. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what she had to say about her three good friends, her three former stable members, if you will, because the four horsewomen of WWE, they were a rare breed. They came together in NXT being the forefront of change. They were part of the change of the women's revolution, evolution, and now what I consider the modern day of pro wrestling, the modern day women's division of WWE. And while they were never necessarily aligned together on television as a formal faction, the success in which they had behind the scenes in changing the culture of WWE, as well as on television as singles or even in tags or in various ways, is notable. They will always be linked together. And even though we never got the four horsewomen of WWE versus four horsewomen of MMA, it was still a epic idea. I think it still is an epic idea because even though you didn't get it, it was the idea of what if Ronda Rousey clashed with, Mercedes Moné or Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair or Bayley or whatever. When it comes to Bayley and her alignment with these women, there's always a pecking order. The pecking order is the fact that you had Bayley at the very bottom, while you had Charlotte Flair at the very top. And then you had Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, second place, right behind Charlotte Flair, never getting above her. And then you had Becky Lynch in the middle, right? Bayley, she was not called up to the main roster with the rest of them when that happened, right? She was called up later. Now, she found a ton of success in NXT. People still talk about her lovable babyface run in NXT, but I think she didn't get her flowers until years later. In fact, I don't think she got her flowers in terms of how good she is and how much respect fans have for her until years later on the main roster in 2019 or so, when she turned heel and showed a different side, a darker side, a more serious side to her character. Now, that leads us to today's video because Bayley recently appeared on the Going Wild podcast and she talked about the legacy of the four horsewomen. And I thought it was very interesting and I wanted to share it with y'all in today's video. And that's what she had to say. I mostly see it, maybe the impact that made it nowadays in NXT, because when we were in NXT, what we had to look up to, as you guys on Raw and SmackDown, like Fox and Natalya and Tamina and Naomi, all these women on Raw and SmackDown, that was our goal. But there was no presence of women in NXT at the time. So it's like we had anything to try to compare ourselves to in NXT. We were like, oh, we have to get to Raw and SmackDown. We got to be with the girls on Total Divas. That was our goal. But now in NXT, it's cool to see how the girls are like, okay, we're the new four horsewomen of WWE. Or who do you think would be the four horsewomen in NXT? It's nice to see that it's still alive in a sense of those girls used to watch us in NXT, which feels crazy because it's been like 10 years now, that we have a legacy where there are women who are working in WWE that can say, we grew up watching you guys. We remember your matches here and match there. I remember Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch did that. You and Sasha did that. It's nice to see it continue to inspire women. And she's 100% right, because the legacy of this group, the legacy that Charlotte Flair has with Becky Lynch and Mercedes Moné and Bayley and vice versa, is they changed the game.